Greetings ladies and gentlefish, and welcome to this video where we're going to feature a pair of subscriber replays, and we're going to show you the advantages of being in a platoon. So, first game here is courtesy of the only Q. He is platooned up with one of his clanmates, Hyena, from the Medal clan, and also Logra? However one doth pronounce it. So this is going to be a pair of games kind of featuring, like I said, I can't remember now, playing with friends, being in a platoon, and the advantages that it can bring. So, this is Kharkov, which is not the best light tank map. I should point out Q is in the T71, of course, the American Tier 7, one of the American Tier 7 light tanks. This is not the best light tank map, simply because it's mainly a big fat city. Anyway, Q is coming down, oh my god, Q is coming down this left-hand flank, and then discovers that there are a lot of people around here, which is a little bit disconcerting. So, he puts a shot or two into the AMX, and now with a damaged gun is going to circle this VK, and then run the hell away, because damn. Thankfully, the friendly IS executes that VK. Now, of course, in doing all that, and in finding out where the enemy AMX and VK were, and almost having a collision with a friendly T-54 lightweight, Q has lost all of his health. He has 143 health left, and this is a Tier 9 game, so that basically means he's a one-shot for, everyone. Except possibly the M41 Walker Bulldogs. Now, so far, because Q was going over to that side, you haven't really seen much of Q's platoon mates. But don't worry, you will. So there's one of them, there's Logra in his Tiger 2. And I should point out the other platoon mate is in a Borsig. So, while the enemy team is horrifically distracted with essentially the rest of Q's platoon, Q is going to take horrific advantage of this and plump some shots into someone who's not expecting it. Hello, Mr. Borsig, how are you today? And together with Logra, they tag team that Borsig into the ground. Q has one shot left. He puts it into the side of the VK, and then is on the reload. Even with not much health, Q was still able to do a good amount of damage. Alright, so, if you're paying attention to the minimap, you may have noticed that while Q's team is pushing and appears to be winning this flank, the VK is trying to track Q. That's so sweet. Q sets him on fire. He is dead. While the friendly team has successfully pushed this flank, the enemy team has successfully pushed the south flank, which is a bit of a problem, because it means they will soon be in the friendly base, and several people have noticed this and are going, defend the base, defend the base. And here is one of the advantages of being in a platoon. You can confer with your platoon mates and tell them we need to defend the base. And you actually have some people who you can rely upon, hopefully, to help you out and to do something about it. So, Q comes around to give this Waffenträger a swift rogering from behind, puts a third shot in, and then decides, he doesn't want to. He puts one more shot in, and then he's reloading anyway. So he just runs away. In my head, he's making Dr. Zoidberg noises. So while the Tiger 2 and Borsig of Q's platoon are holding up the guys who might be in the process, who might try and kill Q, Q comes back to do something about this cap. Alas, he bounces on the T32, switches attention to the Pershing, doesn't quite have a shot, but again, one of his platoon mates manages to reset the Pershing, and then together between them, this Pershing is just going to be so completely screwed. And he is dead. There is still the T32 in the friendly capture circle, but there's a couple of friendly tanks in the enemy capture circle. Bazinga, game over. And Logra even manages to put a final shot into that T32 before the game ends. So, that was a very quick bit of gameplay on Kharkov, courtesy of Q, and just showing you some of the advantages that you can have from platooning up, even if you're not all going around as a single wolf pack. There are still definite advantages to doing it, above and beyond just having a bit of a laugh with some mates. So let's go and have a look at the results of that, and then I've got another game to show you. So as you can see, that game was worth a first-class mastery for Q. He got an Arsonist for setting that for burning that VK to death, Fire for Effect, and Bruiser. He came the top of his team with his platoon mate Logra coming in at second in his Tiger 2. Q did 2,500 damage and got 2 kills for 1,121 base experience, which, considering it was a tier 9 game, so the matchmaking wasn't the best, and it was a city map, is a pretty, and he lost a lot of health at the beginning, is a very nice result indeed. And all that enabled him to make 14,000 credits profit. That would have been 27,000 if he'd been running a premium account. So let's jump into another game, again looking at platooning, this time in a slightly more, I guess, obvious manner. Here's game number 2. This one is courtesy of Mac, and he is driving the ELC AMX, or AMX ELC. Although this is from patch 9.6, so it should be the ELC AMX. He is platooned up with a clanmate, Lord Cabacus, also in an ELC AMX. This is a tier 6 game, so this is kind of the nicest matchmaking that the wee little ELC sees. And it really is very little. I mean, look at it. It's tiny! Teeny weeny! Anyway. The pair of them are here on El Haluf. And hopefully they're going to be able to prod some buttock. And they're going to be sticking together, basically. So this is going to be... whereas the previous game just showed you what you can do in a platoon, even if you're not all going around together as one wolf pack, this is going to show you what you can do in a platoon when you are. So initially, we've got Lord Cabacus moving forwards. He's kind of playing the scout, if you will, and Mac is effectively being a tank destroyer for him. And the ELC's gun definitely means that you can play the role of a tank destroyer in an ELC with decent matchmaking. 170 pen, 240 alpha damage. I mean, the penetration on this gun is higher than the 90mm gun that the American Jackson and Hellcat receive, and they get the same matchmaking. T40 has been spotted out. This is a poor little tier 4 American tank destroyer, and between Mac and Lord Cabacus, they execute that poor little fellow, double tapping him in the face, and there's a Tog. This is a very bad location for a Tog to be in. There are 2 Togs on the enemy team, and they're not platooned. Why is this a bad location for a Tog to be in? Well, Togs are big, and they have terrible armour. Well, they have poor armour. And generally speaking, you want to get them somewhere which is artillery safe. There are 6 artillery in this game, 3 per side. And that Tog is pretending he's a tank destroyer, essentially. Hello, little chaffy. How are you? You have 221 health. My gun does 240 average damage. Sweet. And so this Tog really has put himself in a position where he's likely going to be hung out to dry. And we have Lord Cabacus approaching from one direction, Mac approaching from the other direction, and... well... the Tog is slow and ponderous, and the ELC is anything but slow and ponderous. And when you are in a platoon and you can coordinate with your platoon mate, ooh, Tog puts one shot into Lord Cabacus. Lord Cabacus puts a shot into Tog. Tog takes a shot in the rear from strange unknown assailant. And these guys are just going to bait and switch all day long. Or can just bait and switch all day long. Which way is Sir Lord Toggington looking? Sir Lord Toggington is looking at Mac. So if Lord Cabacus can come out like that and put a shot into him, yeah. Mac takes a shot but puts one into the turret, and now this Tog is a one-shot for Lord Cabacus. And Lord Cabacus can take the hit, not that he needs to, and there we go. Between them they just... oh, that poor Tog. That poor guy. That was very sad to watch. The flip side is that I really like the ELC, so I guess in a way it was good to watch. I don't know how you work that one out. Right, Mac's been spotted. He doesn't want to come around that corner because the Lux's little autocannon can certainly wreck Mac's face. Which way is the Lux looking? Well, the Lux has actually backed off, so screw it. We can charge this guy down. Just make sure the shot hits, so that you don't get autocannon to death. And again, Mac's going one way, Cabacus is going the other. And this poor little Lux doesn't know where he's safe, and the answer is... he's not. Now he manages to put some hits into Mac and take him down to 53 health, but it costs him his life. The team is winning 8-4, by the way. And between them, Cabacus and Mac have basically killed everything on this flank so far. Now this was the more lightly defended flank, I grant you, but they're in a pair of ELCs. Now it looks like Mac is going in the search for artillery. He's loaded a high explosive round, but Cabacus finds the SU-5. The Griller is also over there, or one of them. Don't know where the second Griller is, and they're not platoon, so there's no particular reason why they'd be together, but Mac hasn't found his target, so he's going to keep searching for him. Woo! Bye-bye, driver. No! Griller is down. Griller is down. Now, it looks like actually the driver damage was just a bit of a bug, so don't worry too much about that. I believe Mac's driver is entirely intact because he's doing 70 kilometers an hour. Mac switches back to the armor piercing now because, well, clearly he didn't find the artillery he was looking for. And this is not the arty you are looking for. There's an M6. Can he get a shot? No. Oh, he's been spotted by someone. No. Find somewhere safe. And approach from a different direction. And remember the artillery that Mac was looking for. Well, he's found him. Which way is he looking? The other way. Oh, that's a shame. There we go. The guy had 240 health. These shells do 240 average alpha damage. We can work with that. Between the two of them, they have 6 kills. If Cabacus can pick up one more, they can pick up a brothers in arms. And hello, Mr. T150. Whoop, 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 whoop. No, I don't think so, you big silly heavy tank. You don't have the gun depression to hit me. And indeed, the T150 misses. There we go. Cabacus kills the M6 to pick up the brothers in arms. Mac isn't quite able to pick up the kill, alas, on the T150, as the friendly M6 nails him, and that just leaves this poor T3485 who is trying to chase Cabacus down, but decides, nah, do I really want to run straight into an ELC AMX? No, I don't. And there we go. 7 kills between them. Yeah. Bit of a butchering there as they just cleaned up. Both of them survived. That's a brothers in arms. Very nicely done indeed. Let's see exactly how that game went. So that was enough for a first class mastery for Mac. Fighter, Fire for Effect, Bruiser, and of course that brothers in arms. The Hellcat actually got the top experience on their team, but Cabacus and Mac came in 2nd and 3rd respectively, picking up 7 kills between them. They each did about 1500 damage, and they each got very similar experience scores. No actual scouting or spotting there, certainly from Mac's perspective, but nice amount of damage, 17,000 credits profit. That would have been 28,000 with a premium account. Very nice game overall. I hope you guys enjoyed that pair of games. Just looking at the sort of things you can do in platoons, basically. If you did, please feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel, and I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.